right, so the next groove album we're going to be talking about is Sylosis with A Sign of Things to Come.
Coming up to the modern day.
So if you're unfamiliar with Sylosis, they are a British heavy metal band founded by Josh Middleton, who is the primary songwriter, lead guitarist, and vocalist of the band.
Mr. Do Everything.
Over the years, they've actually had their foot in a lot of different genres, including metalcore and melodic death metal. However, I think that this album in particular falls squarely in the groove metal lane. They released this album in September of 2023. It consists of 10 songs for a runtime of 43 minutes. And I just want to point out that that is perfect.
That is perfect. That's what you want.
That's the sweet spot.
We don't need an hour. We don't need 15 songs. This
10
is perfect.
songs, 43 minutes. That's how you do it. They start out with the track Deadwood. If this song doesn't hook you in right away, you may as well turn the album off. You're not going to like anything else that you hear after this.
It's fair.
However, if this one gives you the old heavy metal hard on, then proceed, because you are in for a treat. You're not dealing with the modern guitars that are tuned super low to create heaviness. Josh is creating the heaviness here with these big chunky riffs. Not to mention that this album is filled with catchy hooks.
Yeah, Deadwood was a great TV show. It's also a great opener. They drop right in with an assault of riffs and drums. The breakdown's absolutely nasty. Machine gun drums and cowbell into the solo. You always got to love that. Really like the deep gutturals going on. Absolutely killer opener.
I'd say it's a sign of things to come.
It might be. That's the next track.
This song is where it really became apparent that this band had moved into the groove metal lane. It starts with this big Zakk Wylde inspired riffing, complete with the pinch harmonics. This is one of the catchiest, straightforward metal songs that I've heard outside of Pantera. It also has one of my favorite lyrical lines. I hate to say, I'm beginning to see my own reflection in my adversaries. I hate to ask, but I just need to know, is your finger on the trigger or can you let go?
Getting pretty deep from Josh there. And his vocal range from the fierce growls to the huge melodic stuff is impressive. Big bouncy breakdown, and there's the groove for you.
Pariahs is the third track on the album. It's not easy to make heavy music this catchy without including a bunch of sing-songy parts. And
our good friend would say sing-song, ding-along parts.
Ding-along, sing-song, ding-along.
Flingity-flang.
But what they've done here reminds me of some of my favorite bands. Machine Head certainly is one that comes to mind. This one's chock full of alarm clock riffing, big moshy breakdown leading into an epic guitar solo.
Yeah, I love the choppy drums into the big chuggy riff that just gets your head bobbing. That is groove to me. Then they throw in that sweeping technical solo too, just to add their own layer to it. It's a great track.
So the next track is Poison for the Lost. They pick it up a little bit on this one with some thrashiness into the mix.
Yeah.
Again, what is separating this album, I think, from previous albums is these big hooks, though. Poison for the Lost, corruption of trust, out of your depth, save your breath, climb down from your cross.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Poison for the Lost, man. The riffing is very death thrash to me. Two-stepping drumming too at the beginning, which was really cool, and the solo just rips through. I dig that track.
So we've had Mexican death rash, and now we got British death rash.
British death rash. Descent's another cool track. It's got a catchy hook in the chorus. There's a heavy back and forth chug to that song too.
Yeah, man. There's
every track you like is good here.
There's good songs everywhere on this thing. Absent, that's the 6th song on the album. It was actually the 4th single that they released. It's hard to not draw comparisons again to Machine Head when listening to this one. It is essentially a ballad, but not in like the lovey-dovey, sing-songy way. Like, it's still really heavy. It just starts out with the slow melodic guitar, and it has the whispered talk-style singing before it really kicks in. Which is a style that's frequently used by Mr. Robert Flynn.
Yeah, we never share notes. We just don't. But this feels like a slower melodic Machine Head track. for the first half. It's very Rob Flynn vocal delivery.
That's great.
Just echoing what Jason said there. Great stuff. Absent.
They closed the album out with A Godless Throne, a nice, thrashy, angry one to go out on. But then when you get to that chorus, it just feels huge. Just huge. And that's what I want from a closer. I think it's a perfect closer.
Yeah, the song builds to a kind of climactic finale with a huge solo before it fades out into silence. Great way to close out the album. This is the first time I really sat down and listened to this album front to back. And I see exactly why you felt so highly of it, Jason. It's packed with intense and technical riffs, blistering solos, powerful vocals, tons of range, and infectious groove throughout the entire album. This was a very fun listen. This was a very fun week. It was much funner than Angry Elmo last week. So I appreciated all these albums in the groove category, but A Sign of Things to Come is a very solid 5 out of 6 from me.
There you go.
I don't even know why I gave it a 5 instead of a 6, but it's great.
More listens, you may change your mind.
Potentially.
So some of you may remember that this was my album of the year last year, so it's not hard to see where I'm going to go with this. This is definitely one of my favorite modern metal albums, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor and check out Sylosis, A Sign of Things to Come.
Yeah.
It's a 6 out of 6.
Great album.
6, 6, 6.